Will to Kingdom is called a novel of the Second Coming, but if its hero, Richard Holmes, is some kind of modern-day messiah, he is the most reluctant one imaginable. Like the book's author, Stephen Ricks, Richard Holmes is just a regular guy who didn't go looking for spiritual visions. He simply wanted to understand this feeling he had that there was more to life than paying your bills. His search for the secret led him to every sacred text he could find, and, saving the Bible for last, he came away with an answer in one simple phrase: love your enemies. When he decided to put love your enemies into practice, opportunity came quickly. An auto repair shop tried to cheat him on his bill. He was angry but overcame his instinct to fight and instead volunteered to pay even more than was demanded. Heaven noticed. The angels sang. They had their man. And so began a series of visions that Stephen Ricks records in the story of Richard Holmes, through which he realized this harsh world of survival is just an illusion, that the true world we are intended for is a dimension of pure, unadulterated love. If you were handed a pearl of such great value, would you hide it? For Richard Holmes, that was impossible. He was beaming with the joy he had to share. He had joined the rare few who Revelation seeks out, like the 3 visionary children of Fatima, Portugal in 1917, who couldn't keep quiet even though the church ordered them into silence. For them it was too real to let go of, and so it was for Richard Holmes. When he tried to share his visions, he was rejected, and his family conspired to have him committed as mentally deranged. But the psychiatrist who examined him was forced to declare, "I find no sign of illness in this man." Still, Holmes had learned his lesson. You can't just go around declaring love's light in a world more comfortable with darkness. He had to find another way. And so began an odyssey that led him into a study of biblical Greek and the ancient texts that comprised the New Testament Gospels, the story of the man Jesus, who had come to lead the way into the light, who after his death had been declared God and worshipped instead of followed. The errors Holmes discovered, errors on which the entire practice of Christianity was built, led him to the walls of the old city of Jerusalem, the place where it had all begun, where an explosion of revelation came with such force it could no longer be ignored. Consciously or not, the world had been waiting for this moment, and now it was here. But make no mistake, there are those who love this dark world and the power they hold in it, and like Herod at the time of Jesus' birth, they had their wise men who somehow knew that an overwhelming power for truth was loose in the world, a power they had to stop. And they might have succeeded except for one miscalculation. They believed this power had been born into the world at the time of the worldwide harmonic convergence in the 1980s, and searched for someone born at that time. The truth was that heaven had chosen an old man to carry its flag. What was it that Holmes had discovered in his reading of the scriptures that had eluded all the others? It all began with the first story, the story of creation. We are made in God's image, Genesis says, and because God is spirit, we are also spirit. This is fact, not metaphor. These bodies which seem so real are nothing more than suits of clothes we put on and take off. And then there was Jesus, born of woman like all of us, a human who God filled with his Holy Spirit, who showed us a bridge into the dimension of light and love, a bridge we refused to cross, choosing out of fear instead to worship the bridge builder as God. And so heaven tried again, and just as it had chosen a peasant named Jesus, it again chose an unlikely hero, a humble engineer from the Midwest, a farm boy turned home builder, who had grown up in a home where religion was mocked, not celebrated. But when heaven decides to bring its will into being, there's no point in resisting. You can join or get out of the way. Many joined. From a beautiful young woman who sensed Holmes' power while sitting beside him on an airplane, to an aging Jewish scholar and guardian of ancient manuscripts hidden deep within the old city of Jerusalem. Many lined up with Holmes to see God's will manifest on earth and to learn that oneness is our nature, a oneness we share with God and each other. Let us not fear. When thy will is done, the kingdom will surely come.